away like that. Lost my...
Hey everybody, it's Dan. So I've got to go to the supermarket, so a good opportunity to create some content. And I know people are like, oh, I don't have time to create content. Well, neither do I, because I'm so busy, which is why I'm creating it here in my car. So good conversation with somebody who's looking at getting more content, but right at the start of their journey, and we're just giving them some really good advice about why you should be doing it, how you should be doing it, how you can repurpose some of that content. But unfortunately, I just see so many people not creating content at all. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you not creating content? It's like the biggest, most single important thing right now that you should be doing. Because the content you create today won't just last today. This is a content that's going to last you all this year, all next year, the next year, the following 10 years, the following 20 years. And you're going to look back at the content that you've created. Like, we're up to like 600 or 700 videos right now, and potentially by the end of the year we'll be up to 1,000 videos. That's an awful lot of videos to do. If you do one a day, it's going to take you just under 3 years. But the content that you're going to be creating is what you're going to be using to grow your business. And it's like, do you not want to grow your business? Because if you don't want to grow your business, don't create content. And I get people go, well, I don't have time. Russell Brunson records his podcast on the way home from work. And he does one, I don't know, every day, something like that. It's like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes long, however long it happens to be. But there's no excuse not to be creating content when you're driving to and from work, and if you're getting on a train, you need to go find a quiet corner, you know, while you're waiting for your train or waiting for your bus or whatever it happens to be that you're doing. Creating the content does a number of things for you and for your business that without them, it will take you longer to get to where you want to get to, right? So for certain things that it does, it builds trust. People get to know who you are. The call that I just had with the lady, she was like, oh wow, you sound just like you do on the podcast. And I just find it really funny because I'm not putting this on. Do you know what I mean? I'm not putting this voice on. I don't put the phone down or stop recording a podcast and talk like Queen's Pop of English. This is how I sound. This is who I am, and my sense of humour is my sense of humour. So then when people get on the phone with you, they already know who you are. They already know what you sound like. They already know what your sense of humour is like and what triggers you and all of that kind of stuff, right? So it's building this trust, it's building this honesty, it's enabling you to drop the barriers. Like, imagine two people, right? Imagine a person is meeting two people. The first person he's never met before, he's never heard of them, he's never listened to them on a podcast, he's never seen their videos, he's never seen them at the beach with the kid picking shells, right? That's number one. Now imagine a second person who has watched a couple of his podcasts or downloaded a couple of his podcasts, he's watched a couple of videos, seen him on Facebook. Like, he instantly knows who this person is. He instantly knows what he's going to get offered. You remember that video, always be closing, like always be pitching, ABP, always be pitching, you should always be pitching somebody. He knows it's going to get pitched. So then when I pitch them, there is no surprise that we're going to pitch them, right? And also on that phone call we've had, we're quite honest, because we're like, the aim of this conversation is to see if we're a good match to you, but also, just as importantly, to see if you're a good match for us, because we don't work with people we don't want to work with. We want to work with nice people who've got energy and that kind of thing, and doing good in the world. We're at a stage where we don't want to work for people just because we want the money. We don't have to do that now. So maybe it's not always going to be like that. I don't know. We have to reevaluate. But because of the sheer amount of content that we put out, that people are listening to. And by the way, people are not going to listen to every single piece of content. You might create 100 videos and somebody listens or watches one video, and that's all they needed to watch. They don't have to watch all 100 videos, all 238 podcasts I think we're up to right now. We're definitely going to hit the 300 mark on the podcast this year if we're doing 5 a week. We're 12 weeks in, we've got another 40 weeks, it's another 200 podcasts. We should hit the 500 podcast mark, which is pretty significant. But this is what you guys should be doing as well. You should be out there creating as much content and allowing people the opportunity to bump into your content You know, like when you bump into people at networking events. Like people go to networking events, right? Let's have this rant. People go to networking events to go meet people. Why don't you stay at home and record 6 different videos that can then be turned into podcasts? So now you've got 12 pieces of content. You've got a video and you've got a podcast. 12 pieces of content. So then you start sending that out everywhere. Okay? So now you might have 100 downloads per podcast episode. You might have 50 video views, right? So what's that? 600, that's 900 people now have listened to your message, right? Or you could go to a networking event and bump in and speak to 10 or 15 people. Like, I get that the face-to-face stuff is important, and it is important, right? But you can then ask people to meet up with you. You know, part of your podcast should be, if you want to meet up with me, why not come and meet me? Do you know what I mean? So, you've got to be putting out an awful lot of content. There's so much noise out there, and to get over and above all of that noise, you've got to be putting over and above the amount of content out, and I just see people not doing it. If you can't do it, you haven't got enough time, that's fine. Come and speak to us, we can help you create some of that content. You can go Facebook Live once a week, and out of that once a week we'll get 1 or 2 videos out, and then now you've got, let's say, 2 videos each podcast. That's 8 videos a month, all a minute long. We can create the stills for you, the images for you, we can pull out the podcast for you. You've got lots of opportunity there to get your message out to people, but you've got to start creating content. You've got to find time in your schedule to start creating content. People don't care what you sound like, they don't care what you look like, they just want to know, can that person help me? And if the answer is yes, then the answer is yes. Alright, I hope that's useful for you. We'll catch up with you on the next video. My name's Dan Latto, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear.
So, what types of content should you be putting out there? So there's all sorts of different types of content. There's like face to camera, there's doing a voiceover on a PowerPoint presentation, there are our what we call pattern interruption videos, which are 15-20 seconds long. It's got some music, it's got some stock footage, we put some text on, and a call to action. One of these, by the way, for the Penzi Trust that we created, we didn't create for them, we created for somebody who raises funds on behalf of the Penzi Trust. That moved me to tears. One of my own videos moved us to tears, and it was just stock footage with stock music, with text on it. And I was talking to our content coordinator, and it moved him to tears, his mum to tears as well, which I was like, that's amazing. That's exactly the response that we want. Obviously, we don't get that every time. But there's all sorts of different types of content that you can put out there. It doesn't have to be 25-minute, 40-minute, 3-hour-long Joe Rogan podcast type specials. It can be little short videos. This is coming up to just a minute long. So it can be little short videos, and as long as you're putting content out there, you can create as many of these videos as you like. So off you go and record your very first video.